Dun 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 dun. Bum bum. Ooh, we have a new control room in here. Very cool. I have no idea what I'm going to make. Do 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 do. I gotta make a theme song for this. Something like Dungeon Mash, Dungeon Mash. I don't know. Something that rocks. Do 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 do. Now, if I go ahead and put on some music, it's gonna be like subject to copyright infringement or something. What the hell should I do? Oh, I see. You're not getting the whole screen here, are you? Okay. Good old root beer. Let's see. Oh, what should I make? Hmm. Well, maybe I should start making a symbol set. So let's go ahead and say, well, we'll just start with something new here. Do, do, do. Say let's go by 20. 20 as well. Miles, okay. Color. Okay. We're gonna go with like a parchment color here. Fleshy parchment color. Solid, clear. You notice I'm going to go just slightly on the inside of that color to kind of give it a border effect. So when I lay these dark lines in, when I lay these mountains in, you'll see kind of like some sort of a cool effect here. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of a reflection over on this side here. There we go. Back to some black. Back in black. That's one symbol. Make an entirely new folder here. What should we call this? Let me just type it in for crying out loud. Reach over to my laptop. Call this my JRT set. And we will call this Alright, let's just move this over here. So I have kind of a reference to the last one I did. Or maybe I'll bring it down. Okay. Number 2. We'll go ahead and make this next one a single peak. Okay. I'm actually using my Cintiq on this one. only because I needed a second monitor. You don't need a Cintiq for this. All you need is your imagination and a mouse. Let's not do that. The undo. Okay, and maybe a little bit of a back shine on there. Okay. Let's not grab the whole thing. Create symbol. Export. Number 3. Let's go with making kind of a multiple range here. And black. I think this gives it kind of a cool cartoon kind of illustrated look. I don't like to make my maps look realistic or anything. I like, kind of like I like my stuff to look kind of like a comic book. Don't ask me if there's any, um, formula to doing this sort of thing. It's just kind of just, I'm just doing as it goes. So I'm not really, you know, um, saying that there's a big lump coming out here and whatever. I'm just kind of just, you know, making it up. And then once I kind of got the once I got kind of like a rhythm going, I just go with it. Okay. See if I can grab this without grabbing the symbol below it, and I can't. So let's just grab that and go right click, delete. I know I don't have an audience right now, but I may as well yak away. Oh, I do have a viewer. Cool. Now I'll go back to here. Create this simple and export. Oop. It's a little hard to do this with a pen. Okay, so say that's 4 mountains so far. Go ahead and move this over. I'll add a couple more mountains just for some variety. So I don't know if you guys are asking questions or anything when you come in, but if you are, here, maybe what I'll do is I will open up a second monitor here. See if I'm actually getting anybody asking anything. On my other computer. All right, cool. All right, now I can finally see some comments here. And yes, it is Fractal Mapper. DM and my player designing the maps for my game. Uh, yeah, that's kind of a bad idea. I mean, unless he's making like totally random rooms for you, and maybe that would be a cool idea. Um, I thought about doing a series of maps kind of built around different kinds of rooms and hallways, and then all a DM has to do is kind of piece them all together um, as he goes along. Like he can just have this collection of maps and designate that okay if he goes from this door to the next room, well then but that would be a good way, uh, John, to have your guy design your maps. Just make different kinds of rooms, different kinds of hallways. Just basically a hallway from either the door to door, or a hallway from opening to opening, and then have a room that either has just an opening or an opening with a couple more doors or whatever, different kinds of rooms that are like that, and just do that sort of thing. I mean, I think that would be a way that your player could go ahead and design your maps, and then you just basically randomly pull them out. So he has no idea how you've laid out the map. All he knows is that you've gone ahead and made you know put these pieces together and put whatever monsters you wanted inside. Uh, all right, let me get back to this other computer here. I'll kind of look up every once in a while and look at comics. So, Temple of the Lich. You want a Temple of the Lich? Oh, and hi, Mask of Winter. Cool to see you on here. All right, now maybe I'll do some sort of temple. I think that might be cool. So let me get rid of this. Let's go ahead and make a map. Let's see. How big of a map should we make? Let's go. Well, Temple of the Lich. You want me to like have corridors leading to the Temple of the Lich, or do you want me to um, just make the temple itself? Well, maybe we'll do a temple. We'll have kind of like a little bit of a entry to it with a few rooms in it. So let's go ahead and switch this up to feet. And let's see. We'll make this a 200, width, height 400, feet, background color, we'll start with black, and my thing says Bing, there we go. And let's put in a grid. Let's use white for right now for grid. And square, 5 by 5. I guess that'll be good enough to start off with. Let's get rid of the decimal points there. Although it tends to bring in the decimal points just to compensate for things, so I don't know. All right. Let's zoom in here. Let's start off right down this section. Now, general layer. I don't bother moving these layers around, or well, you can't move these layers around. I just don't bother like using them as layers. Let's go ahead and call this one rooms. Just to kind of build up how we're going to create stuff. Water, vegetation. No, we're going to have floor items. Floor items as in carpets and that sort of thing. Change this one to, instead of buildings, it's going to be something like furniture. Furniture. Population. Yes, we will put the monsters on its own level. Political. Yeah, we know that we'll have the orcs versus kobolds, and the player faction. All right. Oh, and before I forget, turn all of these other extra layers off so that when I start switching them, I don't start accidentally grabbing the layers. This throne room and branching out. Okay. Well, we're going to place this throne room. I don't know. Should we do something different? Place it at the bottom then? We'll do that. All right. So let's go ahead and figure out what kind of a room we're going to make here. Snap the square grids for now. They're kind of centered to the map. Let's see. Let's go with. Do I actually have the snap on? Hold on a sec. Okay, yeah, it's a snap. I am going to just slightly change these grids a little bit. I want to go maybe with a kind of a dark gray. That way I can actually see my lines as I'm doing them. Okay, so make this what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh hell, I don't know. Let's just do this. We're gonna get and put in a big battle area, mainly because the Lich is going to be like flinging spells and wants a bit of room between him and the players. Let's do that. We'll go 3 in, 3 in that side. A little bit of overlap. Yeah, maybe we'll do the same thing over here. And kind of like that. There we go. Maybe we'll have some trippy little circular areas where it's kind of like a lounge or something. The Lich can serve drinks or something to his go something like that. That looks better, maybe something like that. And if it's if I'm not mistaken, this is in reverse. So I'm gonna have to do here is maybe flip the camera. I'll see if I can do that here. Well, that actually looks like what I'm looking at now. There we go. Not an expert cameraman. All right. So control copy, and we'll paste a couple more maybe in here. And grab this whole thing. Move it up a bit. Excuse me. Oh, guys, what kind of monsters would a Lich have hanging out at his place? I mean, seriously, would he have just all undead? And I notice that there is a delay between what I'm doing and what you're seeing live. Whoop, come on. Let's go ahead and add some more circles, but we'll add some black circles. Oop. Help if I can select the circle first. oh, we'll have a bunch of half circles, kind of like decorations around here. So Control C, Control V, and we'll do this a few more times. So I got a whole bunch of these little circles all kind of in one spot. So now I can go ahead and range them around. Copy and paste a few more here. Oop. No idea. You have no idea what I'm going through right now. It's pressure. Okay, let's try this. I want this to look kind of quasi well put together, not just hacked together. Okay. Yeah, when I start putting together these crazy maps, I get all kinds of weird circles and everything all over the place here. What the heck is going on here? There we go. That's some crazy looking stuff. We'll do that. Whoop. I keep on getting this extra menu. I guess I have to figure out a way to turn that off. Let's go with something like that. Yeah. Did I do a whole bunch more? Yep, I did. Okay. There. That looks kind of funky. Gives it a more of an organic look to it. It's like the pillars are like built into the walls. And let's see. That's good. Let's go ahead and throw in some more. We'll throw in some more pillars later. Whoop. Actually, I'll make a let's do this. shrink this down maybe a bit. Should we do kind of like a labyrinth or something? Or usually when I make dungeons, I kind of plan out things so it doesn't have too many chaotic um, doors and nonsense rooms. I usually have everything in my dungeons having some sort of meaning instead of just frivolously throwing in a whole bunch of crazy rooms everywhere and then filling it in later. But due to the fact that I'm not actually planning anything here, let's just make a bunch of crazy rooms. Um, we'll go with the traditional crazy diagonal room. I mean, diamond-ish shaped room. Okay, we will go with just a large square room. Maybe a elongated room with a bunch of traps or something in it. Typical square rooms. Maybe these ones will have, I don't know, crypts or something. Two, three, four. We'll make this a 5x5. think this will be where the players will think that the liches, uh, this will be a full script. Use these elsewhere, I guess. 3. Let me think. Yeah. Make this a fancy sort of room. We'll have some sort of creepy, weird stuff come out of them corners. Ran out of copies. If you hear me clicking like that, it means I'm making more copies. Oh, let's get some black ones as well. Thought. Oop. Edit. Undo. Oop. I thought I copied it. I just didn't paste one. This one black. Start doing some funky stuff like that. Okay. Copy. Paste, 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 paste. It'll be some wacky kind of room there. Alright, so we'll have let's kind of enter a big, we'll make a weird kind of entry room here. Move up one, there we go. And corridor. This will actually lead lead in to the dungeon itself. Let's go ahead and do some strange alcoves and stuff as well. Might have some, some statue traps in here or something. Let's give this maybe some weird kind of alcove in here, like that. Let's go with another weird kind of alcove here. Now we'll kind of have to figure out how we're going to attach this to that. Maybe we'll do something funky, since it's going to be a high level dungeon. Let's do some tricky stuff here. We'll have like a transit from one to the other here. Let's do something weird here. I'm going to make a kind of an elliptical kind of room with this entry. Whoop. Like that. Down here, we're okay. That like that. Okay, here's the plan. So let's back off out of here, and I'll kind of give you my rendition of how this is going to work. So we'll have the players coming in from here. Then they'll come down this corridor. There's probably going to be some sort of staircase coming down here into this big entry kind of room with maybe some flamboyant kind of decor, maybe some coffins or something that got to life, or some automatons or something like that. I don't know. Whatever, just to greet the players and say, hey, welcome to the Lich's place. Hanging around? Anyways, I'll come through here, and they'll notice that this is kind of like a straightaway into what they think is going to be like the main chamber or something. I don't know. They think this is going to be the right way to go. We'll have this over here as being a place where maybe there's some traps and stuff, and in here there'll be like, I don't know, some sort of a crypt area where he keeps like maybe some form of monsters or something to kill the players that come in indiscriminately. And we'll have this as some sort of like a weird kind of trap, maybe some sort of situation where, I don't know, like sometimes I like to put in damsels in distress where they're not actually damsels. Maybe we'll put something like that in there, and want to eat the characters. Come in through here, a little bit of an entry hall. Maybe we'll have this as a secret door. Comes in here, maybe some sort of a treasure trove in here or something to reward the players for getting through here somehow. Come through here. This will be kind of like a trap area. Maybe we'll have some pits or something and that sort of thing. We'll have some sort of a device here, which will, once the players get their hands on something that will allow them to activate this device here, which will teleport them into this room here. And then if they survive that, teleports them into here. And then they come through here, come into the Lich's area. We have the big battle with the Kahuna right here. Okay, and this will be kind of like a, he'll have some heavies in here. Maybe these are their burial chambers or something. And we'll add some stuff in here just to make it kind of look cool. All right, so we have basically all the rooms lined up and figured out. And of course, if you plan on, if you want to end up downloading this, hopefully your players don't actually watch this and see what I had designed. Otherwise, your plans will be foiled. Now, go ahead and put whatever you want in this. But I'm going to start working on coloring this in and getting some more details down. So let me back off out of this. And I'm going to end up selecting this whole thing, like so. And go ahead and right click, change the layer, and put this into rooms. Say okay. All right, now before I get any further here, let me just get in here. I want to start putting in some reference square in there, because I use a virtual tabletop which adds squares later on. So we'll get back down here and we will add some more of these reference squares indiscriminately through here, just in case. I mean, if you want to get rid of them later, you can always just fill them in with something. But I like to put them, you know, so that I have a reference. Because when I go ahead and actually build this dungeon for virtual tabletop, I will take these piece by piece and chop out, you know, just doing, say, this room here, and then just this hallway or whatever, piece by piece, so that it isn't a huge chunk to deliver to my players. And that way, you know, you can have, like, as a GM, I actually have a map that has this whole thing as you see it, only in a small form. And then I go, if I'm using Fantasy Grounds, I put pins everywhere. And everywhere that there's a pin, you click on that pin and it pops up a new map. And all the stuff on the new map, on the new map will have a bunch of pins on there where I put, you know, my encounter, maybe my notes and stuff are also pinned to that too, so that the story pins are on there as well. And you know, all I have to do is hit those pins and I'll get the reference to that room, what's in it, a description or whatever, and the monsters, the monster roster for that, and then dump whatever monsters that are on that roster into the combat tracker, and away we go. Of course, for you guys that are actually tabletopping, well, you know, I guess you can do it however way you want. All right. So this kind of looked like a little bit of an interesting dungeon. I mean, I didn't make it too random because I hate making random, you know, room, and you know, your brain gets scrambled by the time you filled like 5 of the rooms and you still have 24 more to go. In this way, I kind of plan it that they're going to be mostly concerned about going a certain way here in the dungeon. A few little extra, um, you know, surprise rooms here, which I will make these kind of like secret rooms here that kind of give the players a little bit of a bonus for, you know, doing searches and stuff like that. So, but most of these are going to be like, you know, are we going to die when we get into this next room? Yeah. So that's basically how I want to present that. All right. Now everything is on that other layer. The only thing that we haven't got on the next layer here is I want to go ahead and put all those reference squares. That just selected only the reference squares. And maybe I will make a more items for population. Make this one reference squares. Reference. Okay. All right. So now I'll be able to grab, say, the rooms here. We'll make that selectable for right now. Everything else is not selectable. And grab everything, and I want to turn it into, I don't know, like a color. all throughout, kind of a general looking color. Go from solid fill to now I'm going to show you something. Instead of maybe having this background as black, let's do something a little different before we get into see what we have on the battle map here. Marble? I don't know. But what I can tell you is that my laptop is lagging. It's not like my desktop. My desktop wouldn't do this. All right. Let's just zoom in and take a look and see how that is working. We're getting kind of decent pattern. Let's go ahead and scale that down a little bit more. Apply. Okay, this gives it kind of like a, it's something to work with. I'm going to embellish this a lot later on and make it a little darker. No? Yeah, make it a little darker, just for now. Okay. So our entire map has kind of like this modelly color on here, but we're going to go ahead and enhance it in another application. So I think maybe what I will do is once I've got this exported, then I will go into another application and maybe we'll save that for another live demonstration. So, and that way it gives me a little bit more time to work on this on my other computer, because right now this is really laggy. You can see it's really lagging behind here. And a lot of it has to do with me grabbing all of these entities all at once and working with them. Wait for that to come back to life. And we will save this. Not in our map art. We'll call this Lich Throne. Okay. And for so I will export this out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to export it out with both the grid and without the grid. And then I will put it into Photoshop and start working on it from there. But I definitely want to go ahead and use my desktop for that because my laptop is running a little slow here. So everything's saved, and so next live session, um, I will go ahead and I'll try to do this for next Saturday. Next live session, we'll port this into Photoshop and work on it in there and see all the funky, nifty things you can do in there. Unless, of course, if you have any other ideas of what you want me to work in, um, you can go ahead and make a comment and say I want you to do this in say um, Zara instead or something. I don't know. But anyways, what I have for applications. Let me see if I got my paper here on what I have. I'm also gonna go ahead and try and use that other application. What is it called? It's another vector. It's a free program out there. I was just talking about it to a guy today online. Um, Inkscape. So maybe what I'll do is I will do an Inkscape version or something. I'm just looking for my notes here. Of course, I've got notes for everything except for what I'm talking about right now. I do actually a few other video um, channels as well. I do like a recording guitar and stuff using um, Samplitude digital audio workstation as well. And I do some guitar work and stuff. So, all right. So my list of applications that I have currently on my computer: Photoshop, Open Canvas, Zara Graphic Designer. I have Corel X3, so it'll be pretty close to what the newer one is, I guess, X5. Dog Waffle or Howler, whichever it's called now. I have both versions, and I could use any of those. Dog Waffle is actually really, really cool. It's hard to work in because I mean, just the way layers and stuff, it's really retarded. But they did fix a few things in it in the Howler version and made a little bit more like it is a painting program and it's meant to be like an animation painting program. Although it is kind of a little bit unwieldy to work in, I find, just because the workflow seems really weird in it. But it has some really cool brushes in it, which are like fractal based brushes. And if you've seen Avatar, I think most of you have. They actually did use Dog Waffle in some of the mock-ups of the jungle and that sort of thing because it does really good kind of vegetation kind of effects. Although they're fractalized, it's really weird. I'll have to demonstrate that. I also have ArtRage, Manga Studio. I have most Manga Studio. I have the older 4EX version. I use that actually quite a bit as well. Um, you won't use this for this dungeon, but I have World Machine, which is like a 3D um, software where you can design out an area and create the topography on it, and it will actually make the mountains and that sort of thing using procedural uh, calculations and that sort of thing. It's really it's neat and strange and a lot of fun to use. That you would use for like making like a world or something, but only small portions of a world. It's not really something that you would put your whole entire world into, unless well. Anyways, um, and let's see, just regular paint. So any of those kind of applications I can do right now. I'm also going to load up Inkscape because I am working on a project map, which I need to convert some stuff that will work with Inkscape. So I want to make sure that it's that it'll work properly when I convert it. So we'll stop her there for there, guys. That's an hour and a half basically of me um, either being silent or quiet or talking your ear off. And we'll get back to finishing off this dungeon on my other computer next week. I'll schedule a live session the for next week. So at the same time, so join if you feel like watching this further. Um, Maybe I'll have some music in the background or something. I don't know. Something entertaining. Thanks for dropping in and showing up, or the few that did. And if I can, I'm not sure if this saves it on YouTube, but yeah, I'll have the live version here for people to go ahead and rewatch again. So um, take care, everybody, and enjoy your rest of your weekend. I know I am building cabinets, so this is a nice little break from pounding cabinets all day. All right, rebuilding a kitchen actually. So talk to you later.